You see, the problem with most people today is they want the world to see the grind before the glory. They want applause before the performance. They want recognition before they've done anything worth recognizing. But here's the truth. If you really want to rise, if you really want to win, you've got to learn to work in silence. You've got to be okay with being unseen for a while. Because greatness is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows. It's built when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when you're alone with nothing but your dreams and your doubts. There's a certain kind of power in doing the work when no one expects anything from you. It's in those quiet hours, those late nights, those early mornings, where you start to separate yourself from the crowd. You're not chasing validation. You're chasing transformation. You're not proving something to them. You're proving something to yourself. Every drop of sweat, every setback, every lonely night, that's the foundation of your success story. You see, when you work hard in silence, your results become your voice. They tell your story better than your words ever could. Too many people talk about what they're going to do. They post about it, they brag about it. But when it's time to actually put in the work, they fade. Talking doesn't take you anywhere. Working does. The moment you decide to shut your mouth and move your feet, that's when everything changes. Because talk is cheap, but consistency, that's priceless. The most successful people you'll ever meet aren't the loudest ones in the room. They're the ones who have been quietly building while everyone else was making noise. When you stay silent and focused, you protect your energy. You protect your vision. You don't give people a chance to talk you out of your purpose. Some of you fail not because you lack talent, but because you share too much too soon. You let others plant doubt in the soil of your dream. Every time you tell someone what you're planning to do, they project their fear onto your vision. That's why you've got to move in silence, not because you're hiding, but because you're growing. Seeds don't grow in the open. They grow underground, in silence, in darkness. And when they finally break the surface, the world is shocked at what they've become. You've got to be willing to go through that underground phase. The part where it's quiet, where nothing seems to be happening, where no one is celebrating you. That's where the real growth takes place. That's where you build resilience. That's where you learn discipline. Because when you get used to working without applause, you stop depending on it. You learn to be self-driven. You learn to move whether people notice or not. That's what separates winners from dreamers. One is addicted to validation. The other is addicted to progress. You might be in a season right now where nobody sees the effort you're putting in. Nobody's clapping for you. Nobody's saying, good job. But that's okay. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for the person you're becoming. You're doing it for that version of yourself that refused to quit when everything said you should. You're doing it for that day when your success finally speaks. And trust me, it will. It will speak so loud that the same people who ignored you will act like they always believed in you. So don't rush the process. Let your silence build your story. Let your effort create the noise. Every time you stay consistent, every time you choose focus over attention, every time you keep moving when it feels like no one cares, you're writing the part of your story that people will one day call overnight success. But you'll know the truth. You'll know how many nights it took. You'll know how much pain it cost. You'll know that nothing about your success was accidental. You can't control how fast the results come, but you can control how hard you work when nobody's watching. That's where champions are made. When it's just you, your dream, and your determination. That's when you learn who you really are. Because success doesn't just demand skill, It demands silence. It demands patience. It demands that you be okay with being overlooked while you're building something that can't be ignored. So stop talking about what you're going to do and start showing them. Stop explaining your vision to people who can't see it. Just put your head down and work. The world doesn't need another promise. It needs proof. It needs your results. And when those results come, and they will come, you won't have to announce anything. Your success will do all the talking. Keep working in silence. Let your effort echo. Let your results roar. People often mistake silence for weakness. They see someone quiet and assume they're doing nothing, that they've given up, that they've stopped trying. But silence isn't weakness. Silence is power under control. It's focus. It's discipline. It's a sign that you're no longer wasting energy explaining yourself to people who will never understand your vision. Because when you know where you're going, you don't have time to stop and prove it to everyone watching. You just keep walking. There's something sacred about moving in silence. While everyone else is busy making noise, trying to convince the world that they're grinding, you're quietly doing the work. You're in the dark, sharpening your tools, learning, growing, getting better. And no one even sees it happening. That's what makes it so powerful. Because when you finally step into the light, you don't have to tell anybody you're ready. Your preparation will show it. See, silence builds strength because it forces you to depend on yourself. When nobody knows what you're doing, there's no applause to keep you motivated, no compliments to make you feel good. You have to become your own fuel. You have to wake yourself up, push yourself harder, hold yourself accountable. And that right there, that's how real strength is born. When you can push through without validation, when you can keep going without someone telling you you're doing great. That's when you've tapped into a level of power most people never reach. You can't grow when you're always distracted by noise. Every sound around you pulls you a little further away from your focus. Every opinion, every comment, every comparison, it eats away at your momentum. But when you get quiet, when you start tuning out the noise, that's when clarity comes in. That's when your vision sharpens. You stop reacting to everything and start building something that actually matters. Silence gives you the space to think, to reflect, to plan. It gives you room to move intentionally instead of emotionally. Some of you are so afraid of being unseen that you're wasting your own potential trying to stay visible. You keep telling people about your goals, posting every little move, hoping someone notices your effort. But here's the truth. Your effort is not for them. It's for you. It's for your purpose. If you keep needing attention to feel accomplished, you'll never truly grow. Because strength isn't built in front of an audience. It's built behind closed doors in the moments where no one claps, no one praises, no one even knows what you're going through. When you learn to embrace silence, you start to hear things differently. You start to hear that small, still voice inside you. The one that tells you to keep going when everything in your life feels still. The one that reminds you that this quiet season isn't punishment, it's preparation. You see, silence is the gym where your spirit trains. It's where you build endurance. It's where you learn patience. It's where you develop that calm confidence that can't be shaken by other people's noise. And understand this, silence is not about hiding. It's about strengthening. You're not avoiding the world. You're preparing for it. You're getting ready for the moment when your work, your consistency, and your commitment will speak so loudly that no words will be needed. Because when you've done the work in silence, your presence becomes your announcement. You walk into rooms differently. You carry yourself differently. You don't need to prove you belong. Your results will prove it for you. There's a peace that comes with silence. It's the peace of knowing you're doing what you're meant to do, even if nobody sees it yet. It's the peace of knowing that you're not competing with anyone but the person you were yesterday. When you stop chasing recognition and start chasing mastery, you start moving with purpose. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You just grow. And when the time comes, when that door opens, when your moment arrives, you'll be ready. Because you didn't waste your energy talking about it. You spent it becoming it. So don't mistake silence for stillness. Just because it looks quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. The roots of a tree grow in silence long before the branches touch the sky. The caterpillar transforms in silence before it ever spreads its wings. The same is true for you. What looks like nothing to others is actually everything. Growth doesn't need to make noise. It just needs time. Keep your head down. Keep your faith up. Keep moving in silence. Because one day that silence will erupt with the sound of your success. And when it does, they'll wonder where you came from. They'll ask how you did it. But you'll know you built your strength in silence. Discipline is a word people don't like to hear because it demands something most of us avoid: consistency. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to do what it takes every single day to get there. You can't pray your way into success without discipline. You can't talk your way into it. You've got to show up when it's hard, when it's lonely, when it feels like no one's noticing. Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns your vision into reality. See, working hard in silence isn't just about being quiet. It's about being focused. It's about saying, I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing this because I owe it to myself to see what I'm capable of. That kind of mindset takes discipline. It means you stop waiting for motivation to show up. You stop waiting to feel ready. You start moving whether you feel like it or not. Because if you only work when you're inspired, you'll never build momentum. Discipline means showing up regardless of emotion, doing the work when it's boring, when it's tough, when it doesn't look like it's paying off. The truth is, discipline doesn't feel good at first. It's uncomfortable. It's repetitive. It's lonely. But that discomfort, that's where your strength grows. That's where character is formed. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger. You're teaching yourself that your word matters, that your commitment has value. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not your talent, not your luck, but your ability to stay consistent when most people quit. You have to treat your dream like it's a responsibility, not a hobby. If you only chase it when you have time, you'll never have time. You've got to build your schedule around your purpose, not your comfort. Discipline means saying no to distractions, even good ones, because you've got something greater to build. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's staying focused when the world is pulling you in every direction. It's choosing long-term gain over short-term pleasure. And I get it. It's hard to keep going when you don't see the results yet. It's hard to wake up every day, give your best, and still feel like nothing's changing. But discipline reminds you that progress is happening even when you can't see it. Every rep, every step, every small action adds up. The results don't come overnight, but they come. You've got to trust the process enough to keep showing up. Because if you keep planting seeds with discipline, eventually something has to grow. When you work hard in silence, discipline becomes your language. You start to speak through your actions instead of your words. You stop making excuses. You stop looking for shortcuts. Because you understand, discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. You can't wish your way across that bridge. You've got to walk it one disciplined step at a time. And yes, it's going to take longer than you want. It's going to require more of you than you expected. But when you get to the other side, you'll realize every sacrifice was worth it. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they lack patience. They want the rewards of discipline without the consistency it demands. But real success, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do daily. You can't work hard one week and expect lifetime results. You've got to keep pushing, even when it's inconvenient. You've got to hold yourself accountable when nobody's around to remind you. Because at the end of the day, your dream is your responsibility. Nobody's going to hand it to you. When you live with discipline, something shifts inside you. You stop chasing approval and start chasing excellence. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You begin to realize that the process itself is the reward. Every moment you push through the temptation to quit, you're building a version of yourself that can't be broken. That's why discipline is freedom. It frees you from regret. It frees you from mediocrity. It frees you from living a life that's less than what you were created for. It's easy to talk about success. It's easy to post motivational quotes. But discipline, that's the hard part. And that's where greatness hides. You've got to train your mind to do what needs to be done even when it doesn't feel good. Because one day when your success speaks, people will call you lucky. They won't see the hours of practice, the sacrifices, the discipline that built it. They only see the results. And that's okay. Let them. Because your work wasn't for attention. It was for transformation. So keep showing up. Keep putting in the hours. Keep building in silence. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Discipline makes every moment count. And when your time comes, when your success finally shows up, it won't just shock them. It'll remind them what happens when someone chooses consistency over comfort. That's the power of discipline. It doesn't just build success. It builds the person capable of handling it. There's something powerful about success that speaks without words. When you've worked in silence, stayed disciplined, and kept pushing through every setback, your success becomes more than an achievement. It becomes a message. And the beauty of that message is that it doesn't have to be shouted. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need to be explained. It simply appears, and when it does, it shocks people. Not because you wanted to prove them wrong, but because you stayed faithful to what was right for you. You see, people watch you even when they pretend not to. They notice when you disappear. They notice when you stop talking and start moving. At first, they think you've quit, that you've given up, that life broke you down. But what they don't realize is that you've been in the lab, building something they can't see. You've been growing roots deep beneath the surface, preparing for a harvest they'll never understand until it shows up in front of them. That's the kind of success that shocks people, the kind that arrives quietly, unannounced, undeniable. When your success finally speaks, it's not just about money, status, or recognition. It's about the story behind it, the late nights, the broken plans, the pain that nobody saw. It's about the sacrifices you made in private that nobody will ever thank you for. It's about the moments you wanted to quit, but didn't. It's about the version of yourself you had to let go of to become who you are now. That's what shocks people. Not just the success, but the strength it took to get there. You've got to understand something. You don't need to fight to be seen. You just need to stay true to your vision. The moment you start chasing validation, you lose your power. The moment you start trying to convince others that you're worthy, you give away your focus. The real ones, the ones who make history, don't chase attention. They earn respect. And the only way to earn it is to stay consistent long enough for the results to do the talking. There's a different kind of peace that comes when you stop trying to impress people and start trying to inspire them. You don't have to rub your success in their faces. You don't have to post every win. Just live it. Let them feel it when they see you walk into a room with quiet confidence. Let them sense it in the way you move, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself. When you've been through the fire and survived, you don't need to brag. Your presence tells the story. And here's the thing. Shocking them with your success isn't about revenge. It's not about saying, look at me now. It's about showing them what's possible when you refuse to quit. Because your success isn't just for you. It's a light for someone else still walking through their dark season. When they see you rise, when they see you make it out, when they see you standing tall after being counted out, that gives them hope. That's what real success does. It inspires, it lifts, it teaches. You've got to carry your success with humility. Remember where you came from. Remember how hard it was. Don't forget the days when you prayed for the things you have now. The goal was never to make people jealous. It was to make them believe. Your story could be the reminder that someone else needs. That silence doesn't mean defeat. That hard work still matters. That faith and discipline still pay off. Sometimes the best way to respond to doubt is with progress. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to argue. You just need to keep building. Because every time you grow, every time you evolve, every time you elevate, it speaks louder than anything you could ever say. People might not admit it, but they see it. They feel it. They remember how they counted you out, and they'll have to face that. But you won't have to say a word. Your success will handle the conversation. The truth is, the world respects results. It respects consistency. It respects the person who said less and did more. That's what creates impact. Not noise, not attention, not drama, but discipline and grace. So, when it's finally your season, when the doors open, when your time arrives, don't let pride take over. Let gratitude lead you. Smile. Stay grounded. Keep working. Because success isn't the finish line. It's just the proof that staying true to your process works. You didn't come this far to prove anyone wrong. You came this far to prove yourself right. That your silence had a purpose. That your effort had meaning. And that your time would come. You worked in the dark long enough. Now it's time to let your success shine. Not to boast, but to bless. Shock them with your peace. Shock them with your consistency. Shock them with your growth. Shock them with your results. Because when your success finally speaks, it won't need a microphone. The whole world will hear it.